today's show, we are going to focus on the two most forgotten parts of the 8 dimensions of wellness. Our special guest is a pro at helping people develop their skills to improve both their occupational and financial wellness. Very few people realize that your career is related to your overall wellness. Our guest is a #1 international best-selling author of the book called TurboCharged Networking, a keynote speaker, a math professor, and a boxing coach. Joining us live from Leicester, England, I'd like to give a warm welcome to Tallal. Thank you so much for being with us today. And how's your day going?
Very excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me on the show. And my day is going really well because I'm here with you, brother. Let's do this.
Sounds great. The first question I'd like to ask you is, what made you get involved with networking? Just very curious to see how you got started and how long ago did you get started?
So I, first of all, want to say that I do not come from the traditional sort of business or corporate or sales background. I don't come from an entrepreneurial background. I was trained as an educator. I'm a math lecturer. And so what happened was that in about 2015, I lost my job. Okay, all of a sudden, they shut down the whole place and everybody lost their job. I lost my job as well. And that's the time I reached out to everybody I knew. And I was like, hey, what do I do? Just heard this news. You're panicking at that time. And I was panicking. And I was like, what do I do? Just heard the news. And everybody came back with the same response. Everybody I reached out to came with the same response. And they all said, really sorry to hear that. But, I'm sure something will work out. Just keep applying for more jobs. And I was like, you know what? Why didn't I think of that? That's a brilliant idea. I should apply for more jobs. But at that time, obviously, what I was really looking for was somebody to kind of point me in the right direction, hook me up and say, hey, I know somebody, and let me get you an interview here, or let me put you in an email introduction with this person. And nothing came out. And so that was the first time I realized, and that was 2015, June 2015. That's when I realized I need to start hanging around different people. I need to upgrade the people I hang around with. We are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. So I needed to upgrade my 5, Jason. That's what happened. That's how it started in 2015 after losing my job. That's when I realized that I needed to actually upgrade my 5. And I just started reaching out, connecting with people, started a YouTube show, like a podcast like this one. And things just blew up from there. And, now I launched my book last month, became an international bestseller. And things are going well.
That's awesome. Yeah, I guess you need some fire to get going. A lot of people need to just lose their job to get rocking and rolling. And that's a big thing out there. Believe me, I've been there, done that. I lost my business a few years ago, and now I'm rocking and rolling again. So that's great. Also, I saw in your bio, you're a math professor. Do you teach networking to your math students, or do you include that in their lesson as a fun kind of activity?
What I try to do for my students is to really get them to understand that there is way more to life than this bubble they are surrounded by. Because at that young age, when they're in their teens and things like that, they really are kind of enveloped in the bubble. And so really get them to understand that the actions that you do right now really will have a long-term impact. The habits you develop right now will last you until your 80s and 90s. And one of the big things that I stress upon is being the ability to positively and successfully interact and get on with other people, especially people that you don't know. It's okay to get on with people that you already know, but really to push yourself and get on with other people, because that's where you're going to find the most success. You need other people to get through this life. Okay. Nobody succeeds alone. You need other people to like you. You need other people to give you advice. You need other people to mentor you. You need other people to give you money and resources and share their ideas and technologies and everything else that they have in their world. You need to bring those people into your world. So you need to be able to have positive, successful interactions with people, because that is going to be the biggest change maker in your life.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You have to be around people. Like you said, the 5 people you associate yourself with is how you're going to pretty much be like. Same friends, same people, and good karma will rub off on you. Bad habits will rub off on you. So you want to pick and choose who you like. And that's exactly what you're saying. That's really, really good. Do you think that networking is important for all size businesses? I figure you're the master of networking, so this is the best question for you.
So let me ask you a question, Jason. You've had businesses before, and you're doing this podcast now, and you have so many other things that you're working on. You wear so many different hats, and it's absolutely inspiring to actually be here. Be with somebody who's actually doing so much good in the world. So I actually want to ask you, what business do you think you're in?
I feel like I'm in the people business. I'm in the wellness business, but I'm also in the people service business, helping them feel better, making them comfortable, and helping enrich their lives. I really feel that's something I enjoy doing, because see someone smile and they feel better, they wake up and say, oh man, I feel so much better today at my job or in my life. That's what makes me feel better. I teach them how to work out and do nutrition, but I think I'm in the people business to help them relax and feel better in their lifestyle.
You, my friend, just absolutely nailed it. And that's the thing I want everybody to understand. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You're always in the people business. Okay. Doesn't matter if you're a graphics designer. Doesn't matter if you're a CEO of a the international conglomerate. Doesn't matter if you are, a teacher. Okay. It doesn't matter if you are a social worker. It doesn't matter what you do. You are in the people business. Okay. Because at the end of the day, who is it that's really going to be the end user of your product or service? Okay. It's going to be people. Even if, let's say, you're a vet. Okay. You actually look after animals. Okay. You help animals. Okay. But who has those animals? Who cares for those animals? It's people. Doesn't matter what you do. You're always in the people business. Okay. So everything else that we talk about, I'm a graphic designer, I'm a networking coach, I'm a business consultant, I'm a nutritional or health coach, or, all these other titles we associate with ourselves. Those titles just describe your duties. They do not describe what your truly business is all about. Every business is a people's business.
That's right. All listeners out there, just think about what you do and how your clients feel after you offer their service to them. And absolutely, I'm glad you mentioned that, because honestly, that was one of the best questions I've had. I never thought about that exactly. And that was perfect. I really, really appreciate you asking that question. And now with your book, I know your book is really awesome. It's online, and we're going to find out how to get your book in a few minutes. But speaking about networking, your book, TurboCharged Networking. Give us an overview of what our listeners are going to learn from your book.
Awesome. So the most important thing that you will learn from my book is that networking and all the things that you do with your job, with your career, with your business, in your personal life, everything that you do, it all boils down to one thing: human connection. Okay, human connection. Okay, if you want to find success in life, in business, in your career, you need to be able to be good at building human connection. And to build human connection, I believe you need three things. Okay, there are three things you need for human connection: care, value, service. Okay, you need to be able to provide those three things: care, value, service, because that's what makes people feel comfortable, makes them feel safe, allows you to build rapport, and all those things that we talk about. It all boils down to those three things: care, value, and service. If you are good at providing care, value, and service, then you will be able to build human connection, and you will be successful in whatever that you are doing. And my book is very, very practical. Okay, I've tried to write the book in a way where if you read the book, you are going to end up literally hearing my voice in your head, especially after listening to this podcast. Okay, this is how the book is written, as a conversation between me and whoever's reading the book. That's going to be that personal. And the other thing is, my book is focused on, I had two main objectives in that book. Number one was to help people cultivate the mindset about how to think, how to approach this idea of networking and building human connection and talking to so many different people, especially people you've never met before, right? And especially if they're super successful and you're putting them on a pedestal, like, how do you go about this? Okay, what's the right way to think about things? So one of the main things I share is my 7 golden rules to networking. Okay, the 7 golden rules of networking, which really helps you develop this mindset of how to become a world-class networker. And the second thing is that it's also focused on developing the skill set. So I actually share strategy. I take people behind the scenes, right? Okay, so you get to access to inside conversations. You will see literally, my actual, messages copied and pasted from emails and other personal messages that I've sent to people. You will see my actual copies of, communication exchange that I've had with people. It's very, very behind the scenes, very personal. And the final thing, which is the truly thing that I value the most, is the fact that I've had 20 of my closest friends, 20 of some of the most successful people in their fields, top thought leaders, top experts, top influencers in the world contribute to my book. So you will also get their insights and their tips on how to network, how to build this thing called the human connection, and how to be successful by interacting with people.
Yeah, I saw your book and I couldn't believe how many people are involved in the book. I thought it was just you as the initial author, but I love the fact how you pulled the information almost like a dissertation. You pulled all the information into one book from all different knowledgeable people. I can't wait to get a copy, to be honest with you. I usually get a copy of all my podcast guests that are on my show because I always learn from something from them, and I always share the book on my social media. And I can't wait to read it and looking forward to it. That is super good. Everyone out there listening, get that book because that will change your life. Even if you don't got a business, this will change your life. The one question I really am curious about is I saw that you love fast cars. Was that inspiring the name of your book, TurboCharged? It was really, I thought it might be.
Yes, that's a fantastic question. Nobody's ever asked me that, and I don't think many people have been able to make that connection. But yes, I have a weakness for fast cars, and one of my closest friends. His name is Alex. He got me into something called high performance driving, and the rush that you get is ridiculous. I love cars anyway. I'm a car guy, so I love cars, and there's a little bit of inspiration with the turbocharged networking. Coming from my love for car, my love for driving fast cars, right? My love for driving fast cars and doing some awesome things. But I just want to clarify one thing. That everything that I do with like high performance driving and everything like that, safety comes first. Okay, I push myself to the limit, but I do know what my limits are. Okay, I have people especially my friend who kind of help me and things like that. Navigate through different maneuvers and different sort of sequences. But safety comes first. Absolutely.
You're not doing a Fast and the Furious, like jumping over a bridge or anything, right?
No. I'm not pulling off any Dominic Toretto's anytime soon.
That's great. I love having fun with that. That's awesome. A little bit on the subject now about wellness.
Sure.
If you were to define total wellness in your own description, what would it be?
I think the total complete wellness. First of all, people need to understand that it's a journey. Okay, you do not kind of wake up and the next day or the next week or the next month suddenly everything changes, everything is perfect, everything is sorted, right? It's a continuous journey. All right. So the example that I can share with you here is, for example, driving a car. Right? You're driving a car, and it's the entire journey. And there's so many times you have to use the brake. So many times you have to use the accelerator. So many times where you have to change gears. So many times where you have to signal. So many times where you have to actually turn. So many times you have to check different mirrors and make sure you're safe. So many times where you have to shift lane. Like there's so many things, little things that you have to manage continuously if you want to get to your destination. Okay, so that's the first thing I want people to understand, that it's a journey. You will have to manage so many multiple things in order to make sure that you get to your destination that you're aiming for. The second piece to that about wellness that I want people to understand, the full complete wellness, is the fact that wellness is something that everybody has a choice of. Some people think, oh, that's just not possible for me, never gonna happen. This happens for other people. It happens for Instagram models, for example. Not for me. The thing is, look, every master started as a beginner. Every master started as a beginner. And so, you have to understand the fact that wherever you are in your journey, it doesn't matter. The fact is that you can improve, and you're not in competition with anybody else. It's about competition with you. Are you doing better than yesterday? Are you doing better than last week? Are you doing better than last month? Are you doing better than last year? Those are the questions that really truly matter about your wellness. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Okay, it's about you. It's about your life. It's about your wellness. It's about your happiness. It's about your fulfillment. So it's about you. Stop focusing on other things. Stop going on Instagram. Stop going on social media. Stop talking to your friends. Like, if that stuff actually puts you in a negative state of mind, you need to control your environments. We are a product of our environments. You need to control your environments. Okay. And the final piece that I would say about wellness, the full, complete wellness that I believe, is the fact that you only achieve that. You only can achieve your full, complete, entire wellness by going and pushing yourself, getting out of your comfort zone. You will not find that inside your comfort zone. You will have to go and try new things, different things, uncomfortable things, painful things sometimes. But my point is that you're going to have to do those things in order to get to the next level. It's like a video game, right? You're in the video game, you're playing. If you want to get to the next level, you're going to have to train hard. You're going to have to make some sacrifices. You're going to have to, fight some bosses. You're going to have to fight some minions, right? You're going to have to get those points and unlock the treasure chest. And, that's what it's actually like. Okay. That's the best analogy that I can use. That's what it's actually like. So don't give up. Don't just give up on, the fact that, I this is not possible for me, or I've tried so many times and I've failed, or I tried last time and it didn't work out. Whatever excuse you have. The fact is, all you need to do is control your environment, surround yourself with amazing people like Jason, okay, because he's going to get you there. This is somebody who's actually committed. He's going to hold you accountable, and he's going to actually kick your ass when you need it, and he will get you there. That's what you need. You need to surround yourself with awesome people, because you are the average of the 5 people you'll spend the most time with. And I'm going to extend that your wellness depends on the wellness of the 5 people you're surrounded by.
Yeah, that's one of the best definitions I've heard, and the most detailed. And that is, everybody listening out there, make sure you surround yourself by good people, because if those people out there that you're not comfortable with, break your ties and say, have a good day. Before we go on break, I want to know, what's your favorite fastest car? If you were to buy any car out there, money with no issue, what was your favorite car?
Okay, so that's a bit of a double-edged sword for me, really. First, because I love Lamborghinis. Come on, man. Something,
I love it too.
Something rugged, something fast, loud, brash. Yeah, man, that makes you feel like a man. I love that stuff. Okay, so Lamborghinis, absolutely. Definitely something like an Aventador SV. In like a bright sun yellow. With like black alloys, black wing, black, tinted windows, that stuff. Yeah, that's all me. That is all me. But I do have a real weakness for Mustangs. Come on, man. Mustangs. Okay. You don't feel like a man unless you've actually driven in a Mustang. You need a Mustang.
I love the Shelby Mustangs. I love the old Shelbys, some of the Gone in 60 Seconds. I love the Shelby Mustang. The new ones are awesome too. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. Oh, especially if you do the mods, right? Okay. So once you actually you get the stock, right? You get the stock Mustang, and then you take it to a performance center, and they just like a stripper whole thing and then redo it. Oh man, it's one of those things, in pure black, all black. Okay. And I wanted fully kitted out, full body kit, redo the whole thing. And I wanted to I want one with 850 brake horsepower. Right. Nice. I've seen one in Nottingham here in the UK. Oh man, I want one.
Anybody listening that has access to that Mustang, give them a call.
Yeah, let's hook up, man. We need to chat.
That's great. I'm loving it. When we come back, we will learn more about Tallal. We're back here with Tallal, talking about the importance of networking for everyday life to develop a successful business. What type of keynote speeches do you give and offer, and what target market do you focus on?
Kind of target market I focus on is anybody who wants to really understands the idea of building human connection. They understand the importance of building human connection, and they want to learn more about it. They're curious about it. They believe that this will actually yield them success. And so I've delivered keynote speeches at charity events. I've delivered keynote speeches to students in Argentina, and at Toastmasters meetings, etc. Toastmasters groups, etc. So it's really depends on the audience, because networking is such a broad topic. It's the main focus for me is really helping people understand the importance of building human connection. It's a big range, but the main thing that I personally find the most fulfillment in is actually helping business owners, people who are actually trying to help other people solve problems, right? They have a business to run. They have a company that they're working with. Maybe they're a solopreneur. Maybe they're just working by themselves, whatever it is. But if they're out there solving real problems for people, other things that people are struggling with, especially where there's so much saturation and there are other, competing products which are lower quality, or they don't provide a very good level of service, or they don't really actually solve the client's problem, then I love helping those people, because I think they are the ones who are really, trying to do good in the world. And I feel it's my job to help them. And, not just limited to, small businesses necessarily. I have, also connections with like big organizations. And so definitely, anything to do where I believe that this business or this company, this organization is trying to do some good in the world, I want to be there. I want to be there and help them, develop a deeper understanding of what it means to develop human connection and come from a place of care, value, and service.
And I know that your connections are, after this podcast, will grow, because I know a lot of people are interested, and a lot of business owners listen to this podcast, corporate as well as individuals. And I hopefully that they give you a call and you can connect and do some keynotes for them. And we look really forward to that. Now, in your bio, you mentioned that you were a boxing coach, which I love martial arts. I grew up doing that my whole life. Does boxing strategy carry over into your networking courses or your actual presentations?
Again, a great question. So my boxing coaching is something quite special to me, because I actually coach kids on the weekend. And my son actually trains at the gym as well. So he goes to a wrestling class and then he comes to me for the boxing class. And that's quite a special thing for me. But in terms of the actual boxing strategy, I think it's a mindset. It's the mindset that I believe carries on to networking for me. And so when you're walking into a boxing, I mean, you've done martial arts, if you go into competition, you're sparring, you're going in the cage, or you're going in the boxing ring, or you're going to the competition, you cannot walk in there with doubt. Mm-hmm. Okay. You cannot walk in there thinking, if it just gets hard, then, maybe I can just do this. Maybe I can just tap out. Maybe I can just, give up. You cannot have that thinking at all. You're going in there with one mindset that until the final bell rings, I'm going to move forward, and I'm going to take a few hits, but I'm going to carry on moving forwards despite those hits. I'm going to bear some discomfort. I'm going to take some pain. I'm going to maybe even pick up a few injuries along the way, but I am not going to step back. I am not going to give up. I'm going to carry on moving forwards until the final bell rings. And it's the mindset that you want to develop in your fighters as well. Because, at the end of the day, you don't want to put anybody in the ring so they get absolutely smashed. You don't want to put anybody in the ring until they're absolutely ready. They can demonstrate that they can actually handle themselves. But it's more about the mindset. The physical fitness thing, that's like 20% of the game. The 80% is the mental side, right? And I'm sure you've witnessed this in martial arts. It's the discipline, it's the self-control, it's being able to handle your emotions when you're going there and somebody's trying to take your head off, right? So it is all those things that you need to be able to manage. And I think that really needs to carry on to networking for a lot of people. Don't give up. Don't just go in there with the mindset of, if this person says no, then that means no. Hey, no doesn't mean a rejection. No just means that it's just not convenient for them at that time. Have you tried again? How many times have you tried again? Why did you give up? And so as soon as people usually get, a no or something like that, they get rejected in a way that they take it personal. They're like, oh no, oh my word, that's it, it's over. And I think people need to stop that. I think people need to understand that the game is only over when you give up, when you tap out. Okay. And that only happens when you walk in there with that mindset. Okay, when you walk in there with that doubt, that's when that happens. And so one of the sayings that I've kind of coined is never start a war that you're not committed to finishing, right? And so that's what it is. When you're walking into a ring, when you're walking into a cage, it's a war. And so, I try to carry that mindset on with networking as well. Not in a way that I'm trying to hurt other people, but my point is that, it's that kind of like inner strength of like, I'm not going to give up. I might get no's, I might get, a few rejections. People say, turn around and, just ignore me. And that's okay. I'm not going to give up. If I'm looking for, a person, a client, I'm looking for somebody's business, I'm trying to connect with somebody, I'm going to do a presentation sort of somebody, I'm trying to get a call with somebody, then I'm going to do my best to carry on moving forwards until I get there.
And positivity, like you're saying, confidence and positivity, it should be in everyone's life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, with networking, everyone asked me this question, but I figured this would be a great question for everyone to listen to. What is the best icebreaker to use during a networking event via Zoom or in person? I know they're different. So I was really curious. In person, I get nervous. I like, who do I talk to? Is there a big wig here? He doesn't want to hear me. So those type of things. I was just curious what you have to say about that.
So first of all, Jason, what you will find is that I talk about this quite a lot in my book. Actually, there are 4 sections to my book. Okay, so each section has so many chapters dedicated to it. And one entire section in my book, where I believe has got 3 chapters in it, is all to do with networking during events. One is networking during formal events. So that's like, big conferences and more corporate events. The second one is on networking during informal events. So that's kind of like meetup groups that you go to and, a little sort of, places that you go like Toastmasters groups and things like that. So that's like an informal event. It's not a big corporate event. And then finally, networking on virtual events. So there's actually 3 chapters in my book. Each chapter is dedicated to each one of those. But just to quickly, share some of those ideas here, especially since you mentioned an icebreaker. So the thing is that when you are in person, then it's completely different because, you're there in person. You can, see the other person's body language. You can sense their, sort of vibe. You can sense the aura. You can sense their energy. And it's a very different sort of interaction than if you are doing it online. Okay. But, doing it online, like we're doing this interview online, and, I'm sure we've developed like great rapport. We've developed great connection. We're in sync, we're doing this interview and we're going back and forth and it's working out perfectly. And we're sensing each other's energy. We're sensing each other's reactions and we're just kind of dealing with it. We're in flow. And so that's the word I want to focus on. Flow. Okay. Flow. So when you are in person, and you find, somebody who's there at the networking event that you want to, walk up to and, talk and introduce yourself, whatever. Then the thing is, you need to approach them in a way where they feel safe and comfortable in actually talking to you. So even before you say anything, it's how you approach them. And so, for example, if I was approaching you and you're in the room, you're looking, you caught my eye and I caught your eye, I'll walk up to you. I'll already have a smile on my face. Okay. And I'm probably going to actually kind of tilt my head to one side, lean to one side. And I'm not just walking straight up like this, hello, Jason. And so you want to make it a much more softer approach. You do your smile, say, hey, man, great shirt. I love that color. Where'd you get it from? And so giving a quick compliment is a great icebreaker in person because, even virtual, but definitely in person, you can just notice something. Oh, you're wearing a watch. Hey, I love your watch. Where did you get that watch from? Okay, that's awesome. I love your taste in watches. I was thinking of buying one and I wasn't really sure. What can you tell me? Okay, all right. Now, suddenly you've shown interest in the person. You've given them a compliment. And you're actually curious about what they have to say, and you just have to stand there and listen. So that's a very quick tip on breaking ice, especially when you're face to face. Give them a compliment. Walk up, in a friendly manner, smile. Just give them a compliment. Okay. And if you really want to go further, ask them a question about like, hey, where did you get it from? Or, why did this attract you? Or, why did you make the decision to buy this shirt, etc. Right? if you're doing virtual, then, if you are on a call virtual, then one of my favorite icebreakers with people is something I, possibly asked you when we first started this, before we started recording. And I tried to get that in with everybody, is just the fact that, hey, what was the highlight of your day? Right? Because you start off and you say, hey, how you doing? Yeah, I'm good, etc. How was your day? And it's just an automatic, yeah, my day was great. Yeah. So what was the highlight of your day? Okay, so you get what was something that you were really excited about that day? What's something that really was on their mind that day? Maybe it wasn't something good, maybe it was something bad. What was they were struggling with? What was their challenge? What came up? And so you straight away, you're kind of developing that. What we talk, when I talk about human connection, straight away you're developing that human connection with the person, because you talk about what was the most important thing to them that day, and you're willing to listen to what they have to say about it. Just let them talk, let them lead the conversation. Okay, and so that's a great sort of icebreaker for virtual meetings that I use all the time.
And the funny part is, it's great for dating too.
Well, to be honest with you, this is something I say in my book quite in a humorously, but also directly. I do say this. I'm like, if half the dating sites and half the dating coaches had half of this advice, world would be a better place.
I had to say that. I love comedy, so I throw that in there all the time. I throw in comedy all the time.
Awesome. I love it.
Is there anything else you want our listeners to hear? And how do we hire you for an event, or how to get your book? All those things that people want to know about. And I will keep all your information in the bio section of the podcast and show as well.
Awesome. I appreciate that, Jason. So what's the last thing I want to leave people with? And I want to ask people to take a step back. And I want them to think about, who are the 5 people they spend the most time with? Are they where they want to be? Are those people where they want to be? Have they achieved everything that they want to achieve? Do they build them up? Do they motivate them, push them, drive them, advise them, mentor them, push them forwards, or do they tear them down? Because like I said, I believe that, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So who are your 5? What is your plan to upgrade your 5? Who do you want to surround yourself with? Do you even know? Because we know from research that there's a phenomenon called clustering, where up to 3 levels of separation, and by level of separation, I mean, first level of separation would be your friends and family. The next level of separation from you would be their friends and family. And the third level of separation would be, the friends and family of people from level 2, right? So 3 degrees of separation from you. The people that are there, up to 3 degrees of separation, they have a direct effect on your life outcomes, including your health outcomes, including your beliefs, your values, your level of success in life. And this does not happen consciously. Okay? This does not happen consciously, but you are the product of, all those people's beliefs, all of their values, all of their, success habits, all of their ideals, even the health outcomes, from research, we know even health outcomes in terms of wellness, something that you coach people on, it's related to up to 3 degrees of separation. Okay. So if people in up to 3 degrees of separation from you, if they have unhealthy habits, if they are, let's say, if they smoke, if they drink, if they have, drug addictions or anything like that going on, you are very, very, very likely to end up there as well. And it's the same for divorce. It's the same for level of income. It's the same for so many other things. And it all happens subconsciously. All right. So it's so important that you control the people who are in your sphere of influence. It's so important that you make sure that you expose yourself to the right people, because it directly affects you and the outcomes for your all areas of your life, your future, but also it will then have an impact on the future of your children and their children. And their children. It's a generational knock-on effect. So the sort of the actual scale of this is just insane. You know, being able to surround yourself with the right people will have the sort of ripple effect that you cannot even sit here and imagine, because it will go on to future generations. And it's just so powerful. And that's what I want people to think about right now. And in terms of, you know, for my book, really simple. If you check out my background, the website is there, www.turbochargednetworking.com. You will find links there to go and find my book. The best way to reach out to me, I hang around LinkedIn all the time. You can just search for me, Tallal Gondal on LinkedIn, and it will pop up. Okay. Otherwise, you can also reach out to me at turbochargednetworking@gmail.com.
That's excellent. Everybody out there listening, please contact Tallal, because he has so much wise advice and also years and years of experience. But it's been an awesome time having you on the show. And thank you so much for joining us from England, and have a great fit day.
Thank you, brother. It was an absolute pleasure to be here, to serve you, to serve your audience. And I hope that what I shared with them actually served them as well. So I'm really excited about this. And I love to hear people's thoughts. You know, I love to hear what they thought about our conversation, because I thought it was an amazing conversation. Thank you for the questions you asked. They were awesome.
You're very welcome. And believe me, I've learned a lot, and I'm super pumped and ready to rock and roll to go do some networking, even today.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I love it.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for Tallal for talking about turbocharged networking and how to make your business successful with networking. But when you're on the go, you get hungry and you have to eat something. But instead of going to a fast food joint or grabbing something out of a vending machine, you could bring it with you from home. What we're going to do today for the Body Express Wellness tip is that we're going to combine food so that you can have an active lifestyle and keeping your body fit so you can network and make a lot of money. First thing that I like to do is show you what I eat for breakfast before I go to a networking event, or maybe even during, and you can grab and go real quickly. The first thing I got to do, get a box of oatmeal squares. I like to use the healthy oatmeal squares. These have maple syrup in them, but you don't have to use oatmeal squares. Something else you can use as well. What we're going to do is make a breakfast with oatmeal squares, yogurt, pumpkin spice, and also chia seeds and fresh blueberries from my garden. First thing we're going to do is get your bowl and your spoon ready to go. Then we're going to take your oats or your oatmeal or any kind of healthy cereal that you have. I do love these because it's like oatmeal squares, fast, easy. You can even put these in a Ziploc bag as well and take them with you. So we're going to open this up. We're going to pour some in. I just put like the bottom a little bit just for a snack for now. So I put in only like probably about 20 oatmeal squares in here. Then next, I'm going to take a little bit of chia seeds. I love organic chia seeds. It's great to have, as well as good fats as well, and omega-3s. Great for your joints and for your health. They actually look like little tiny seeds. If you were to plant these may not grow, but other seeds, chia seeds would. Looks like that. Small little black seeds like that, almost like a sesame seed. Put those in there. Okay. Then next, I'm going to grab my yogurt from the refrigerator. Make sure it's refrigerated. You always can get a yogurt on site, wherever you're at. Most events that you go to, most of our events nowadays are Zoom. But just think, you can go up to your kitchen, make a snack in between your next Zoom call. Instead of eating bonbons and cookies, make healthy food. I have my Greek yogurt here, vanilla Greek yogurt. Use plain yogurt. Try to use yogurt without a heavy syrup in it, and it's either plain or vanilla yogurt is the best. If you can't do yogurt, you can even do almond yogurt. You can do all different types of yogurt. They make Greek yogurt with goat's milk, all different types. They even make vegan yogurt, so you can do that as well. So get a nice spoonful of yogurt. Put it on top. I actually mixed in some chia seeds in here. That's okay. They're for there for tomorrow. Okay. Then also put that to the side. Put that back in the refrigerator so you keep refrigerated. And I'm in my RV kitchen right now, so it's modified. But I love the RV kitchen because everything is close in proximity and you can make things really fast. So far, this is what we got. We got the oatmeal squares, we got the yogurt, and also the sesame seeds. Or the chia seeds, actually. The next thing I love, because it's almost Halloween time for everyone that loves Halloween, even if you don't, pumpkin spice spice. What's in here is actually cinnamon, cloves, ginger, allspice, and nutmeg. You can just use ginger, but ginger is great for metabolism of your blood sugar as well. And put a little bit in there, not too much, because if you put too much, whew, that will be good. That won't be good, guys. And mix it all in. You can eat it just like this or put almond milk in it. I'm not going to put almond milk in it because it's more of a snack right now. But if you want to have it as a cereal, put some almond milk in it, regular milk, like 2%, 1%. Or you can eat it just the way it is right now. I didn't bring in my blueberries from the garden, but you could add those as well. You could put in your almonds. Let's add some almonds to this. I have almonds and cashews right here. I would prefer putting in diced almonds if you want to. But I have whole almonds here. As you can see, almonds, cashews, pecans. Put them into the cereal. And there you go. So we have our oatmeal squares, our yogurt, our chia seeds, almonds, and mixed nuts in there. And we're ready to go. Let's try it out. That is awesome. And the last thing I like to mention is that you could bring snack bars with you that are made of fresh oats and different types of pressed ingredients on the go. If you don't have a chance to bring anything that you can refrigerate or get on the go, put this in your bag or your pocket, and while you're at an event, you can take it out real slowly and eat that, or in between. But I'm Jason Cronin here, your host with the Body Express Wellness Tip. I hope you enjoy and have a great fit day. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us. We would love to hear your story. Take care, and I'll see you next time. I'm going to finish my soup.